शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we are reading from chapter 1, text 39. Kulakshaya pranashyanti kula dharma sanatanaha dharme naste kulam krishnam adharmo vivatyuta. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. With the destruction of dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in a religious practice. So we have been reading this section where Arjuna is giving various reasons. So one of the reason, he actually gave the 5 reasons, 4 in chapter 1, and then one reason he gives in second chapter in the beginning. So one of the reason is destruction of family traditions. So he's bringing that, and he's very thoughtful, very concerned that if the tradition, the family tradition, is not maintained, then it will result in chaos, and he'll explain that what will happen, what will the consequences of destroying the family traditions. So in today's verse is saying kulakshaya pranashyanti. Kulakshaya means the destroying the family. Then pranashyanti kul dharma. So if dynasty is vanquished, the destruction of dynasty, pranashyanti kul dharma. Kul dharma also, the tradition, family tradition, is vanquished. And interestingly, here Arjuna is calling kul dharma sanatana. That eternal family tradition is vanquished. Now, there is something very interesting to note here. Arjuna is saying that Kula Dharma Sanatana. That Kula Dharma means the family traditions, they're eternal. But actually speaking, the family traditions are not eternal. They're occupational duties. So far, we are here in this world. We have some duties, some responsibilities based on the nature of the consciousness of the person. One has to practice certain duties and responsibilities. But that is not the eternal occupation of the living entity, the soul. But why Arjuna is saying this? Kula Dharma Sanadana. He is saying this family tradition is eternal. So actually we understand that how Arjuna is also talking under the sway of illusion. He's getting bewildered actually. And of course we understand it is all by the arrangement of the Supreme Lord. And that Arjuna is getting bewildered under the influence of the illusory energy. And then it will give the chance to Krishna to speak this wisdom, to explain the Bhagavad Gita. So you should understand that Kul Dharma is not Sanatana, but this Kul Dharma, the practicing the family tradition, will lead one to practice Sanatana Dharma. So there are two kind of dharmas. One is Apara Dharma and one is Para Dharma. So Apara Dharma is the duties in this world, which includes like the Kula Dharma also, the family traditions and other occupational duties based on the nature of consciousness of the person. So that is called Apara Dharma, or we can call it conditional duties, conditional dharma. But that is not the goal of life. Goal of life is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is occupational duties. So this Kula Dharma or this conditional duties, they actually helps one to gradually revive or develop their Sanatana Dharma. So it is important what Arjuna is actually bringing the point. Though the Kul Dharma is not Sanatana Dharma, but it's still the Kul Dharma, and to maintain, uh, not to allow to get distracted is very, very important here. So this is Apara Dharma. What is Apara Dharma? The conditional duties when we are here in this world as a family man, or We have some duties in the family, for the parents to take care of the kids, for the kids to take care of the elderly people. And then as the households, we have to take care of, we have to play some role for maintaining the social structure. So these are all conditional duty. Prabhupada explains, unfortunately, in this modern age, actually there is no responsibility. People are becoming very self-centered, self-obsessed. They don't care. In the family, everybody is in their own world. The family of 5 people, everybody is busy with their own lifestyle. Nobody cares. It's an unfortunate situation in this modern age. And then nobody cares of the society, the nation, and ultimately nobody cares about that reviving the Sanatana Dharma. So this is what is called Dharmasya Glanir. Yada yada hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata. So when this Dharmasya Glani happens, then Krishna comes and he re-establishes the principles of Dharma. Right. So this keeping the family traditions are very, very important in a religious way, not just simply, husband, wife, kids. So we love each other, we take care of each other. But it should also be, yes, it is important to take care of each other, but also it should be done in a religious way, not in a very concocted way. That okay, let us as a family together and let us enjoy the life in whatever best possible way without considering the religious principle that what how to enjoy. And people nowadays on the name of enjoyment, they commit a lot of sinful activities. So yes, as a family there should be bonding, there should be care for each other, they should enjoy together, but in a religious way. So these family traditions are very, very important in a religious way. And that is why he is bringing this point, Arjuna is bringing that elderly people, they play a very, very significant role here. Right. So Prabhupada is saying the elder members are responsible for such purifying processes in the family, beginning from birth to death. But on the death of the elder members, such family traditions of purification may stop, and the remaining younger family members may develop religious habits and thereby lose their chance for spiritual salvation. So you see the importance of this elderly people in the family. So Arjuna's concern is we kill all these senior people, then all the younger generation, they'll miss out the family traditions and they'll lose the chance in this human form of life to revive or the chance for the spiritual salvation. So you see in the Vedic times, in the previous time, that how the family were like the joint families, where the grandfather, grandmother, the son, and then many sons, and then their wives and their kids. So the family used to be like the family of 10 people, 20 people, even more people like that. And unlike in the modern age, very isolated family, husband, wife, and one child. So the child and husband, wife is also working. So child doesn't get sufficient attention even from the parents. So the no training happens because they are busy, they don't have the time for their kids. And somehow or other, they want to entertain the kids. So they'll give them some gadgets, some mobile. They'll be keep watching some videos, some no animation and something like that. So there's no proper training. There's no proper culture. So that was the system in the earlier time, that there will be a full family and these elderly people, those who are trained, they will train the younger generation. They will teach them the life in a very religious and in spiritual way. So if they are not there, kulakshaya pranashanti kul dharma. So then if these people are destroyed, then kul dharma will also be destroyed. And when that is destroyed, then what happens? Dharma naste kula krishnam. When this dharma is nasta, then adharmo abhibhavatyuta. So it is said, Arjuna is saying, it is said means he has heard from the authorities that when this dharma nasta and the dharmas, the principles of dharma declines, then what happens? The rise of irreligion, adharma abhivatyopa. So dharma will, when dharma is not maintained, then adharma will rise. So that is the problem. Right. So we see here that in the Vedic times, so originally the system is that you be a good grasta, live your life in a very religious way, follow the system of Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma is basically the idea is Dharma, as I'm explaining, that there is two varieties of dharma, two categories of dharma: apara dharma and paradharma. Apara dharma is the conditional duties. So conditional duty means when somebody thinks that I am this body, the level of the consciousness is like that. I'm the body. So I have to maintain my bodily and the things and the people related to my body. So then your swadharma is uh, that body at the bodily level. So it means to keep the harmony with the world and take care of yourself, fulfill your necessities, and gradually move towards Sanatana Dharma. It's a gradual process of purification, and the system is explained as Varnashrama Dharma in our scriptures. And by observing the rules and regulations of Varnashram system, one will gradually reach to the level of Sanatana Dharma. So, what is this Varnashram Dharma? We know that how there are four Varnas and four Ashramas. So, Ashrama is Brahmacharya, Grasta, Vanprastha, and Sannyasa. And Varnas are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So, now this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, it is not some birthright, but based on the quality of the person, the nature of consciousness. So Brahmanas are like the symptoms are given. Krishna explains who is a Brahmana. So it is not birthright that one who is born in a Brahmana family is a Brahmana, or one is born in a Shudra family is a Shudra. It can be other way around also, that the Brahmana a Shudra can be there in the family of Brahmana, and in the Shudra's family there might be someone Brahmana based on the nature. So the symptoms are there. Samodamastava shantirarjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma svavajam. So is a Brahmana who has samodamastava shaucham, peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, religiousness. So these are the natural qualities of a Brahmana. So if you see any person who exhibits this kind of qualities, a lot of purity, austerity, tolerance, is very honest, very knowledgeable in the knowledge of scriptures, self-control. He is a Brahmana. So he will do his duties. Kshatriya has their own duties, and they have their own symptoms. Sauryam tejo dhriti daksham yuddhe chapya palayanam danam ishwara bhavasya shatram karma svabhajam. So heroism, power, dhriti, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, yuddhe cha apalayanam. So they'll not just run away when there is a war, but they will lead in the front row. So unlike generally the Kshatriyas are the rulers. Unlike in the modern day, we see the rulers, they send the army, the everyone in the battlefield, and they remain protected. But earlier, the Kshatriyas, the rulers were like they will lead the show. When there is a war, there is a battle, they will win the forefront. So they're heroes. They have a lot of power, courage in battle, and also their dhanam, ishvara bhavasya. So they're very generous. They will take care of the poor section of the society. They provide their needs by their charity and Ishwar Bhava. Ishwar Bhava means they're like the leaders and the controllers. So this is the nature of the Kshatriya. And similarly, the Vaishya and Shudra, their symptoms are also explained. Krasi Gauraksha Vanijam, Vaishya Karma Suvabhajam, Paricharyatmakam Karma, Sudrashyapi Suvabhajam. So the Vaishya, the business class, they will be doing like Krasi, farming, Gauraksha, cow production, Vanijam, some business. So if the person who is with that kind of a mindset, that kind of a nature, that kind of a consciousness, then he is naturally a Vaishya, right? And then similarly, the Shudras are there, they're the labor and the service to others. So that is the Varnashram system. So why this system has been created by Krishna is basically, see, one should understand the nature of their consciousness, uh, their inclination, and based on that, take up the occupation. And through your occupational duty, you basically satisfy the Supreme Lord. That was the whole idea. It is not that I want to become a perfect Brahmana or perfect Kshatriya, perfect Vaishya or Sudra. No, that was not the goal. Goal is that based on your nature, you take up the occupation, and through that occupation, you satisfy the Supreme Lord. Sam Siddhir Haritoshanam. So that is the purpose. So Vishnu Purana explains Varnashrama Charvata Purushena Parapuman Vishnu Aradhyate Banta Nanyat Tattosha Karanam. So the purpose of Varnashram system is what? Varnashrama Charvata Purushena Parapuman. That Param Purusha Vishnu Aradhyate. And Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, to worship that Supreme Lord through your occupational duty. So ultimately, Varnashram system is designed to gradually rise one to the level of Sanatan Dharma, the Paradharma. So this is Aparadharma, Varnashram system. So through that Aparadharma, it's a gradual process of purification. By practicing this Dharma, doing your duties in this world, gradually you rise to the level of developing the love for the God. And that is what is Sanatan Dharma. So Prabhupada says, at the present moment, there is no such family life, there is no consideration of religion, there is no consideration of what is a religion, there is no consideration of Varnashram system that Brahmana, Kshatriya, everybody is doing everybody's job. Everything is just like animals, Prabhupada says in one place. So the scripture says in the Kali Yuga, the maintaining the system of who is a Brahmana, who is a Kshatriya, who is a Shudra. Shudras are taking the position of the Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas are taking the role of the Shudras. They're working under someone. So everything is topsy-turvy, matched up. So that is why scripture says, Kalau Shudra Sambhavaha. In Kali Yuga, everyone is practically like a Shudra. Nobody can figure out. So it's a very chaotic condition in the human society. So Prabhupada says it cannot be revived to the original position of the systematic institutional system. In Kali Yuga, it is not possible. We understand all these principles, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, but Kali Yuga is completely messed up. So it is not possible to revive this. Then what is the hope? So Prabhupada explains that there is a hope. Hope is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grace. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nastev, 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 Gadiranyada. So he has given us the process that you cannot follow all this Varnashram system. What you should do is Eva Kevalam. The only solace in this Kali Yuga is chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So everything is lots. Now simply just chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and again you will be situated in the original position. So point is, Varnashram system is designed, this Apara Dharma is designed to bring one to the Paradharma, to the Sanatan Dharma, conditional Dharma to constitutional Dharma, Swadharma to Sanatan Dharma. So it's a gradual process that you start following your Swadharma and gradually reach to the Sanatan Dharma. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving that directly you can attain the Sanatan Dharma. And what is that Paradharma? Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Radokshaje Ahetuki Pratihada Yayatma Suprasidati. So Bhagavatam explains what is the Paradharma. And Paradharma for Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo. For all the living entities, for everyone, the Paradharma is Yato Bhakti Radokshaje. Developing the bhakti, that loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord, who is known as Adokshaja. So practicing devotional service is the goal of any kind of dharma. Ultimately, you follow your swadharma, your varnashram system, or whatever. Ultimately, we had to attain this yato bhakti radokshaje. So how it can be attained? Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that is a special mercy, special grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Says that just simply sitting sthane sthita shruti tanuman manobhir. Then no matter where you are situated, whether you are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, or you don't know what you are, no problem. Wherever you are, be situated. Just keep doing your occupational duties in a religious way. And at the same time, practice this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then gradually, it will result in developing the loving emotions, the loving devotional service for the Supreme Lord, Krishna. And that is the goal of any kind of dharma. So dharma is very, very simple. Many times people explain dharma in a very complex way. But Prabhupada's purports, actually, the beauty of Prabhupada's teachings are in very simple words. He explains what is dharma. Dharma is yato bhakti radokshaje. Then bhakti to the Supreme Lord. That is the dharma. Right? And what kind of bhakti it should be? Like many times people, they go to the temple, they do some rituals, some worship, and all of those things. And then in turn they ask, okay, God, please give me daily bread or something like that. Give me daily bread or something. So many things people can ask. That is also okay, but that is not the ultimate goal of life. So that is why it says that bhakti should be ahetuki, apratihata. Ahetuki means there should not be any reason for bhakti, that I am doing the bhakti, I am going to worship the God for, so that he will provide me this. Oh God, give me my daily bread. So that is not the love for God, that is the love for the bread. If somebody else will give the bread, then they'll go to that person. So that is not the bhakti which is actually asked for. Bhakti should be ahetuki. One should not expect anything from the Lord. Of course, that is the ideal state. Otherwise, in the Bhagavatam, it is explained in the beginning, it is okay to go with some kind of desires also. Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udardi. Tivrena bhakti yogena. So, Bhagavatam explains, either you go akama with selfless service attitude, or sarvakama, that you have lot of desires to go and worship the Lord. It is okay in the beginning if you go with the desire also. But if you take up the right process under the guidance of the bona fide teacher, then all our materialistic desires, all other motivated devotional service will be gradually purified, and then we'll come to the level of unmotivated devotional service. So that is how it should be. So the goal of uh, this Kula dharma, Varnashram dharma, or any kind of dharma is ultimately to come to the level of Yato Bhakti Radokshaje, developing the bhakti, pure devotion, the unmotivated devotional service towards the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And that bhakti should be practiced apratihata. Apratihata means uninterrupted. There should not be any reason. Oh, today I'm busy. I was not in station. I was something doing. I was, my friends came. Something. People keep giving the reasons, and because of that, I could not practice my daily sadhana. I missed my chanting. I missed my reading. I missed my hearing. Something like that. People get occupied. No, but that is not the way. It should be apratihata. Apratihata means it should be uninterrupted. There shouldn't be any reason which checks your daily practice. So that kind of bhakti, unmotivated, uninterrupted, ahatuki, apratihata, that is the purpose. Otherwise, if that purpose is not in mind and this purpose is not attained by your so-called dharma, then that dharma is explained in the Bhagavatam that shram eva hi kevalam. It's a useless labor. Many people say, "Oh, I do this ritual, I follow this person, I listen to that person." Great. But question is whether it is helping you to develop your loving emotions, your loving devotional service in an unmotivated and uninterrupted way toward the Supreme Lord Krishna. If that is not happening, dharma swanushtita pumsam vishwakshena katasuya na utpadeyata yadiratim shram evahi kevalam. If you're following all your dharma very nicely, you say, "Oh, I follow everything very honestly. I do my work, I take care of my family, and I help the poor. Everything I do, and that is what is my dharma," which is great to do. But then Bhagavatam guides us that by doing all of that, if na utpadiyet yadiratim, those things are not helping us to utpadiyet, to generate, to develop rati. Rati means the attachment towards the Supreme Lord. Vishwakshena katha, to the Supreme Lord's katha, the seva, hearing about the Lord. If that interest, that attachment is not developing, then all our efforts, so-called dharma, is shram eva hi kevalam. It is just a useless labor. So these are some of the thoughts here that we are discussing, that there is apara dharma, there is para dharma. Apara dharma is also very, very important because it's a gradual progression towards the para dharma. So apara dharma is that to maintain the harmony while we are living in this world and ultimately working towards our ultimate constitutional position, which is the para dharma. Savai pumsam paro dharma yato bhakti radokshaye, which is bhakti for the Supreme Lord, and that should be unmotivated and uninterrupted. Okay, so that is the goal. So here Arjuna is little concerned that if this destruction of the dynasty, then Kul Dharma will also be destroyed. Then Adharma will take over. So he's very thoughtful, but then Krishna will explain. Uh, Krishna will bring some other concepts here that we'll see in the future verses. But still, Arjuna continues to give more reasons. So we'll see few more reasons that Arjuna is giving in the next few verses. Okay, so these are some thoughts on this verse. Okay, let me pause here and see if anybody's any quick question or any comment. If you have a question, you can unmute yourself or you can put in the chat also. Okay, so if there's no question, then we'll stop here. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada.